So typically, people with autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis or colitis or Crohn's disease, or for that matter, cancer, if you look at their lives, what you notice about them is they've had great difficulty expressing their emotions because in childhood they were forbidden from doing so. So they compensated by suppressing their feelings, and they have great difficulty saying no, so that when people ask them to do things, they automatically say yes, and they'll keep doing things even though they're very stressed by it. And then you end up with the body saying no, because they didn't, in the form of illness. I know this is, I'm not telling you proof, because my time with you tonight is too short, but what I can tell you, that is absolutely scientifically unquestionable, is that you cannot separate the mind from the body. So whatever happens emotionally will actually have an impact on your physiology, because the brain systems that regulate emotions are part and parcel of the same system that the immune system is a part of, the cardiovascular system is a part of, the nervous system is a part of, and the hormonal apparatus is all part of it as well. So whatever happens emotionally also immediately has an impact physiologically. And that's why you can't separate people's emotional lives from their physiology. You can also not separate people's physiology from their relationships. We know, for example, that children whose parents are stressed are much more likely to have asthma. And so that the more stressed and depressed the parents are, the more medication the child might need for their asthma. And why? Because the child's emotions have an impact on the child's physiology, and the parent's emotional states have an impact on the child's emotions. And if you want to look at it more broadly, what are we talking about? If you're looking at the increasing rate of asthma in North America these days, and allergies of all kinds, or the increasing rate of ADHD and depression and all that amongst kids, what's going on? What's going on is that the parents are getting more stressed, and therefore the kids are getting more stressed, and therefore the kids are getting more sick. And it's not a question of the parents not loving their kids, it's not a question of blaming parents, it's not a question of parents not doing their best. It's the question is that because of economic circumstances and greater isolation, the breakdown of extended families, the breakdown of communities, all the uncertainties of modern industrial life, the parents are more stressed, and the more stressed the parents are, the more stressed the kids are. And when the kids are emotionally stressed, that also affects their physiology. Isolation. At the end of life, a number of studies have shown now that when people are emotionally isolated, they're more likely to get sick, and if they get sick, they're more likely to die. And so, for example, amongst elderly couples, when one of them is hospitalized, the other's risk for dying goes up significantly. Why? Because our physiology cannot be separated from our emotions, and our emotions cannot be separated from our relationships. So human relationships are actually necessary to maintain healthy human life. We're social creatures. It also means that in a society where kids are growing up increasingly without their parents, because their parents are too busy